So we're here in Jacksonville, Florida this morning. This is a private estate community, one of those gated things. And what's neat about this, coming from Orlando, is I don't know if you saw the azaleas, kind of reminds you of Georgia. But you also have the palm trees and, pretty normal neighborhood that we go in. A lot of brick, which is telling you that you're in North Florida, South Georgia. But we're going over to look at a foundation issue. So let's go ahead and pull up there and take a look. Hey, good morning. Chuck here with Apple Drains. Today we are in Jacksonville, Florida, looking at a foundation issue. And we get these kind of jobs. These are big jobs. These are tough jobs that a lot of other companies don't want to take on. Let's walk around the house and kind of show you what's going on. If he'll let me show you the inside floor, that would be great, so you can see why this needs to be done. So let's start here on the outside. So to begin with, this is an executive style home. They've got a really nice pool. You can see all the pool decking that runs around. Roof line, let's start up there. You can see tremendous amounts of roof. And he had a gutter company come out and put a super gutter, we call it. This is 8-inch gutter. It's structural in case he wants to put a lanai on, but also to handle that flow. But you notice that there's no downspouts here at all. That's not the problem. He's got downspouts down here. All that water from the roof comes on both sides, and drains out to a retention pond. So we've got a long run of area here. You can see where water stands. It's actually muddy. It rained last night. So we need to put in footer pipe, and this is the pipe. People call it a French drain. We call it footer pipe, and it runs along the foundation at the footer level, however deep that is. And what that does is, as groundwater rises, it goes into that footer pipe, and we send it to a sump basin and a sump pump. The sump pump will lift it up, and we've got great discharge. We can send it straight out to the back, or we could tie into that downspout drain if it's in good working order. So we're gonna leave an estimate to clean that as well. Let's look at. So here's that same side of the house. You can see the front. Notice that there are downspouts that are just sticking out into the ground, running out. That really doesn't move much water. All it's doing is pushing out into the yard, and of course some of it dissipates, but a lot of it goes right back up on that foundation. So the footer tile would have to start over there by the front door and go all the way around to the rear where we can put the sump basin. No problem moving water that far. That's not an issue at all. So real straightforward. Let's walk on around more. You can see more of how much water is actually entering the house. And he's got a sunken living room, so hardwood floor, and of course water is just coming straight up. Just a quick note, this tiny little roof doesn't catch enough water to worry about, so we would leave that one alone. However, footer tile needs to go along the front wall, around these little alcoves, all the way over to this corner where there is a retaining wall, just a natural wall. Sump basin would go there. This line, the discharge, we would pump out to the front. We would send that much water out to the downspout drains can go into the sump basin, or they could be a separate line. Not much fall here for gravity, but the downspout would move that water without any problem out. Here along this section of the house, this is the drive going to the garage. This is graded well. Older drive, but water does come across. You can see these cracks across his driveway. This is water, stress cracks, and water is getting underneath here. It pushes and push pressure up, and it'll crack your concrete. This is really normal stuff, and especially in a 20-30 year home, this is pretty normal. So do we want to address this? We'll leave that up to the homeowner. This side also has an issue. We need to do some footer pipe along this side as well. The problem with this, it's not really a problem, but cost-wise, is where do you send the water? So we would need to put either a channel drain and or cut this walk, or this drive. It's a 3-car drive, so we can get that water out and over to that retention pond. So again, a really straightforward problem. Let's look at azaleas, like I was telling you as I drove into the community. Feels like you're in Georgia. You know, Atlanta, that area, azaleas are a big thing and beautiful just when they bloom. So here in the courtyard, same kind of thing. We've got channel drains up here that are picking up a lot of water, but water still coming in through the walls and coming up under the floor. So all along here where these portocarpus are, these are called portocarpus, and then we've got some viburnums all along here. This has to be dug out and put footer pipe in. We can send that to a sump basin back there by those azaleas and pump that back to the back corner. Same thing on this side. This all has to be dug out, footer tile installed, and we can send that to the sump basin. We can send a lot of water over to one basin, and the pump would be on the other side of the house. So let's see if we can look inside and look at that floor, if he'll allow us to look at that and show you. And that
Okay,
so a lot of people ask, you know, what does the floor look like when you have a water problem? If you look carefully, you can see it right here. It's all through this area. And he's got some other problems. Really cool floor. He's got the fireplace, but he's got the same problem on the other side, right by the French doors. So what's happening is this is the weakest point of the concrete, and water tends to have pressure, push up, it gets under the wood, between the wood and the floor, and then it starts to buckle, crack, and start to scape just like that. Hey, this is Chuck with Apple Drains. We are going into a crawl space that we put a footer pipe in and a couple sump pumps in about 3 years ago, just to double check it. A lot of people say, do we go back and check things? Yeah, we do. This has been through 2 hurricanes. Take a look and you decide whether or not these footer systems and sump pumps actually work. Take a look. Okay, so some of you that have watched a lot of our videos might remember this install. This is here in Jacksonville, Florida. We are in a crawl space and we installed footer pipe. I'll show you over here. You can see that gravel perforated pipe that runs along the wall. Footer pipe. It's the same on the outside. This is a French drain. There's perforated pipe surrounded by gravel. As water floods up, it comes into the gravel, into the pipe, and is carried away. And what we're doing is we're just checking out to see how well the system has been working. It's been a couple years. Let's take a look. So again, this is that really tight crawl space, and I mean, I can see already it's super dry. We did put this moisture barrier down all across the crawl space. It's working really good. Everything looks really dry. Let's take a look in the sump basin where we've got a sump pump. Let's take a look. So down here in the sump basin, let me get over here. This is a tight crawl space. You see our M53. That float looks like it's ready to kick on. It rained. See if I can get in here. There it goes. Yeah, it kicked on just for a second. It did rain last night. Everything's working really great. What a great job. So yeah, everything is really dry. We put a footer pipe all the way around the perimeter of the inside of this crawl space, and you can see the sawdust here where they'd been working on that floor. It's still here, and I mean, it's dry. So in addition to the crawl space work that we did down there, we also put a French drain in here using the Easy Flow, and you can see just how dry this really is. Wonderful stuff. Works really good. And as I said, it rained really hard here in Jacksonville last night. And you can see it out here at the road. This is, you know, it rained hard. Our discharge is right there. We use a 6-inch catch basin to discharge, but super dry all through the yard. That stuff works, guys. Works really good. Hey, this is Chuck with Apple Drains, reminding you that if you believe you can do something, I guarantee you can do it. Have a great day. Hey, just a quick note about live help. video consultation via Skype. We also can do FaceTime with the iPhone, either one. Great way to help with project planning. Can help you figure out what you need to do, materials, cost, and labor as far as that goes. But sign up online and we'll get you on the schedule. We are extremely busy here in Central Florida, and hurricane season is here, but the real hurricane season is just around the corner. I urge you to sign up online as soon as you can, and I do apologize if you don't get an email back from us. We work 7 days a week. We do try to do 2 jobs a day. We're pretty busy, but I'm sure that we can fit you into the schedule.